Fear, the word alone, sends a shiver through us. It makes our stomach tighten, our hearts race, our hands tremble. And among all fears, there is one that silently chains more dreams than any other: the fear of failure. Think about it. How many times have you stopped yourself before even starting because you thought, "What if I fail?" How many nights have you laid awake, replaying all the worst-case scenarios, convincing yourself that it's safer to do nothing at all? But here's the truth: failure isn't the end. Failure isn't a wall. Failure is the doorway. Every person who has ever achieved greatness has stood face to face with failure. They didn't run from it. They didn't let it define them. They walked straight into it and turned it into their teacher. Because failure, my friend, is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. But I know, it doesn't feel like that when you're in it, does it? When you fall, when you lose, when you hear the word no over and over again, it cuts deep. It feels like the world is watching you break. It feels like you've let down yourself, your family, your friends. Failure whispers in your ear, "You're not good enough. You'll never make it. Stop trying." And here is where most people stop. They surrender. They shrink. They let fear build walls around their lives. But not you. Not anymore. Because today, you will learn that the fear of failure is nothing but an illusion, a shadow that disappears the moment you face it with courage. Failure does not destroy you. Quitting does. Failure does not define you. Refusing to rise does. And the most successful people you admire, they are not the ones who avoided failure. They are the ones who embraced it again and again and again. Michael Jordan once said, "I have missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I have lost almost 300 games. 26 times I have been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I have failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." Do you hear that? Failure didn't kill his dream. It fueled it. So, how do you overcome the fear of failure? It begins with one choice. You must decide that failure is not your enemy, but your greatest ally. When a baby takes its first steps, it falls again and again. But do we look at that baby and say, "You're a failure"? No, we clap, we cheer, we encourage, because falling is part of learning. Why then, when we grow older, do we punish ourselves for falling? Why do we label failure as the end when it's really the beginning? Failure means you tried. Failure means you had the courage to step outside your comfort zone. Failure means you are in the arena, while others sit safely on the sidelines. Fear of failure is nothing more than a story your mind creates to protect you from pain. But stories can be rewritten. What if, instead of saying, "I might fail," you said, "I might grow"? Instead of, "What if I'm rejected?" say, "What if I'm redirected?" Instead of, "I'm not ready," say, "This is how I get ready." Change the story. Change your life. Every story has a turning point. And this moment, right here, right now, can be yours. You have a choice: to let fear of failure hold you hostage, or to break free and run toward your destiny. Yes, you will fall. Yes, you will stumble. Yes, you will fail. But every time you do, you will rise stronger, sharper, bolder, because failure is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your masterpiece. Let me tell you about someone you've never heard of. A young man named Daniel Carter. Daniel grew up in a small town. He dreamed of building his own tech company. But when he launched his first product, it failed. His friends laughed. Investors walked away. His own family told him to get a real job. For months, he battled shame. He didn't want to step outside, didn't want people to see him as the boy who failed. But one night, sitting in that empty garage, Daniel made a decision. He whispered to himself, "I would rather fail 1,000 times chasing my dream than live one more day imprisoned by fear." So he tried again and again and again. Each failure was brutal, but each one taught him something new. 5 years later, Daniel Carter's company wasn't just surviving, it was thriving, employing hundreds of people, changing lives with technology that he once thought was impossible. And when people asked him how he did it, Daniel smiled and said, "I failed my way forward." Do you see it? The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not fear. It is the choice to keep moving despite fear. So, let me ask you, what are you afraid of? Failing the exam, losing money, being laughed at, being rejected. Good, be afraid, feel it, and then do it anyway, because fear is temporary, but regret lasts forever. One day, you will look back on your life, and you will not remember the times you failed. You will remember the times you dared, the times you stood up when your knees were shaking, the times you tried when your voice was trembling, the times you faced failure and kept moving forward. So rise, rise above the fear, rise above the doubt, rise above the voices telling you you can't, because you can, you will, and you must. Failure will not break you. Failure will build you. So go. Step into the arena. Take the shot. Write the page. Start the business. Speak the truth. Live the dream. And if you fail, fail forward, because the only true failure is never trying at all. Now go. Your future is waiting, unchained, unstoppable, fearless.